The company Adesiv was founded in 1971 as a producer of adhesives for various industrial sectors such as construction, wood, footwear, paper and cardboard manufacturing and others. Year after year, Adesiv's tireless commitment in the field of research has ensured that their high quality and environment-friendly products are today recognized throughout the world, ensuring Adesiv's position as a leader in the production of bonding agents for various industrial sectors. The laying of a wooden floor is only possible if the window and door frames have been fitted in order to waterproof the area and prevent any excess humidity. The concrete subfloor must be clean and free of dust or any other foreign substances such as any residual lime, plasterwork or similar. The concrete subfloor should be evenly compressed. When the surface is hit with a mallet weighing 750 grams, no visible marks should be left, nor should there be any crumbling or dust particles forming. It is important to check the surface strength of the subfloor by scratching it with a suitable iron nail to form a series of squares. No deep cracks or crumbling or dust formation should occur. It is essential that the residual humidity of the subfloor is no more than 2% on concrete subfloors and 0.5% on anhydrite subfloors. Use an electric hygrometer to determine which part of the subfloor has the highest levels of humidity. And in this point, carry out a measurement with a carbide hygrometer. Extract a sample with a hammer and chisel which is representative of the entire thickness of the subfloor, discarding the surface level for at least 15 millimeters. Weigh the broken up and mixed up sample using a small set of accurately calibrated scales, taking care that the sample is not in contact with the air for too long. Place several steel balls, a file of pre-calibrated calcium carbide and the sample of extracted subfloor into the designated container. Close the container with a suitable lid equipped with a manometer and check the gasket. Shake vigorously for 5 minutes and wait for the pressure to stabilize within approximately 15 minutes before taking the manometer reading. If the reading reveals a percentage of humidity that is greater, then it is necessary to carry out a precautionary treatment of the subfloor with a suitable primer. The laying of the parquet is only possible if the room temperature is no less than 15 degrees Celsius. The relative air humidity should be measured with a suitable instrument and should be approximately 50%. In addition, it is necessary to measure the humidity of the wood to be laid with an electric hygrometer, testing at least 4 or 5 sample pieces. The level of humidity must be between 7 and 11%. Primer PA400 is a consolidating resin designed for dust-free cement subfloors and for the isolating treatment against any residual humidity in floors and damp walls. The floor foundation to be treated should be compressed and free of foreign substances. Any defect in the surface, such as flaws, cracks or depressions, should be pre-treated prior to the application of the primer PA400. By mixing fine-grained sand with the primer, a synthetic mortar is obtained that can be applied onto the subfloor with a plastering trowel. The primer PA400 should be diluted exclusively with the dedicated thinner D40 or D21 in a ratio of 1:1 or 2:1 according to the absorption of the subfloor. The diluted primer PA400 should be applied with a paintbrush or roller in generous amounts for the first layer. Allow to dry for at least 3 to 4 hours, ideally in conditions of 20 to 25 degrees Celsius with 60 to 70% of relative humidity. Apply the second coat of the primer PA400, diluted to a ratio of 2:1, using a sufficient amount so that no excess amount of the product remains on the surface. Apply a third coat if necessary. The maximum amount of time allowed between one coat and the next must not be more than 12 hours in order to guarantee a perfect connection between the various applications. To obtain a stronger adhesion of the glue, sprinkle a layer of fine sand on the last coat of the PA400 while it is still fresh. After it has dried and before gluing, remove the excess sand that has not become attached to the surface. Pelprin PL6 is a two-component epoxy polyurethane adhesive catalyzed in a ratio of 9.4:0.6. For the preparation, pour component B into the container of component A and mix if possible with an electric stir for several minutes until the mixture becomes a smooth paste. Under normal conditions, the product obtained in this way should be used within 2 hours. With a suitable serrated trowel, carefully apply the paste to the subfloor and then lay the wood panels. The sides of the panels must not be glued in order to allow the regular subdivision caused by any contracting or shrinking during the stabilization process. L100 is a solvent-based bonding resin used for the shaving and filling of wood floors. The product should be mixed with a ratio of approximately 1:1, with wood particles that should be of the same essence as that to be treated, taken from the finest smoothing stage in order to obtain an easily malleable paste. Considering the wide variety of wood essences on the market, it is always advisable to carry out tests to check any variations in the shade of the wood to be treated. Once the product has been mixed, it should be applied using a flat spatula, and a complete shaving of the entire floor should be carried out, if necessary, adding some more resin to maintain the correct consistency. If there are any cracks of a significant size, the operation should be repeated several times. Under normal conditions, the drying time is approximately 30 minutes, at the end of which it is possible to proceed to the sanding stage. The purpose of sandpapering is to get rid of any excess substances left behind after the process of filling with stucco, and to further improve the surface of the flooring so that it is ready for the finishing treatments. A single rotary brush is normally used for this operation, with a disc attachment for the sandpaper or wire gauze with a very fine grain, in order to obtain a uniform, plain, smooth and clean surface. An edge sanding machine is used for the areas close to the walls, the corners and the doorways. Following this process, a powerful vacuum cleaner should be used to clean thoroughly all the surfaces, paying particular attention to the edges. The final result of the varnishing process is largely dependent on the perfect cleaning of the surfaces and the adjacent areas, leaving a surface without unwanted lumps or specks of dirt sealed below the surface. Varnishing products are a combination of fluids that form a film once they have been allowed to dry after application, that protects, hardens and waterproofs the surface of the flooring. F21 is a two-component polyurethane filler with a high filling potential. The main purpose of the filler is to create uniform surfaces, the partial closure of pores, and the isolation and the strong adherence of the varnished layer. F21 is prepared by using clean containers in which only the desired quantity of the product is mixed. The components are mixed in a ratio of 2:1 and are left to react for several minutes. The surface to be treated should be perfectly smooth and free of foreign substances. Clean equipment should be used for the application, roller or paintbrush, applying a layer with a uniform thickness of approximately 90 to 100 grams per meter. It is recommended that a gas mask be worn to protect against toxic fumes and to avoid applying product in damp conditions. Elite is a two-component satin varnish for wooden floors. The two components of the product should be mixed together in clean containers at a ratio of 1:1, and then the product should be left to react for approximately 10 minutes. Elite should be applied to completely smooth surfaces that are free of dust and foreign substances such as oil, wax, or old varnish. Before beginning the application of the product, it is advisable to wear a protective gas mask against toxic fumes and to use clean equipment, roller or paintbrush. The product should be applied in a uniform manner with no more than around 100 grams per meter of the product per layer. This product is particularly recommended for varnishing wooden floors of different essences, and Elite gives the surface an elasticity, fullness and high resistance to abrasion.